Hello, my brothers and sisters. We're going to be going in with Luke 16 tonight. And I absolutely love the one that we're going to be reading. It's starting at verse 11, and it's called The Parable of the Lost Son. What I ask for you guys to do, if you can, just try to place yourself in this story. Like, especially if you are lost or you're in the darkness, or you have come across trouble in your life, like you just are in a state of being lost. Okay, let us just focus on that right now. And it says, to illustrate the point further, Jesus told them this story. A man had two sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of my estate now before you die. Wow. As if he shouldn't be focusing on his father and enjoying him here and now. He's more focused on the wealth of what he will receive when his father dies. So his father agreed to divide the wealth between his sons. A few days later, this younger son packed all his belongings and moved to a distant land, far, far away, where the evil is. And there he wasted all his money in wild living. I know there's pointed times where I wasted some money and I got stuck and bills weren't paid and things, like I can relate to this. And it says, about the time his money ran out, a great famine swept over the land. How ironic is that, right? As he's out there enjoying his little time, a famine comes in. Losing your money, and you're about to lose everything else along the way with it. And this is how God works. And it says, a great famine swept over the land, and he began to starve. He persuaded a local farmer to hire him, and the man sent him into the fields to feed the pigs. I don't know if you guys know this, but as you well know, that in the Testaments, pigs are in the land of the devil. Okay, where Satan is. Jews did not raise pigs. So as we know, when we go into the story, this man went to a distant land where they are raising pigs. And so we know that he went to a land of evil. Okay. And so the young man became so hungry that even the pods he was feeding, the pigs looked good to him. Listen to that. Where he came from, as we said, he went to a distant land. Even the pigs started to look good to him. He didn't even eat pigs. His family didn't raise them. And so, but no one gave him anything. When he finally came to his senses, he said to himself, at home, even the hired servants have food enough to spare. And here I am dying of hunger. He's over there dying of hunger just to go party and spend this money and just to have this great life that he thinks is great, but actually turns out not to be. That's where we get stuck. It says, I will go home to my father and say, Father, I have sinned against both heaven and you. But look at the honesty of him, the honesty of the sinner. He realized, it says he came to his senses. Don't we come to our senses eventually? Yes, we do. I know I did. And I am no longer worthy of being called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant. Like, God brought him so low. He went home and asked his own dad to hire him as a servant. Wow, that's being humble. So he returned home to his father, and while he was still a long way off, his father saw him coming. Filled with love and compassion, he ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. Wow, the love of the father. Like, that's how I feel about me and God. Like, when I came into his arms, that's how I felt. Like I was gone, far, far off, lost in despair, in the darkness. And when I returned after I pled to him that I was wrong, I did him in heaven wrong, like I put myself right here. And what did he do? He embraced him and kissed him. That's what our Father in heaven does. He's like, yes, he's coming home. I'm not mad that he left. I'm happy he's coming home. And then it says, Father, I have sinned against both you and heaven, and I'm no longer worthy of being called your son. But his father disregarded that, and he was just like, quick, bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Like, look at, that's God. That's how God is to us. He's like, I don't care. You are still my child. He disregarded the whole point that he said, I am not worthy of being called your son. But God doesn't look at us that way. We are always his children. And he says, great. Bring the finest robe in the house and put it on him. Get a ring for his finger and sandals for his feet, and kill the calf we have been fattening. And a fattening calf is something that they use for celebration after a long-awaited return. So this boy must have been gone for a long time, living under temptation, under deep sin in this distant land with the devil. We must celebrate with a feast, for this son of mine was dead and now has returned to life. He went to death as he went out and did what he had to do with the money. He let money run his life. Then he got to his senses and he woke up and he has returned to his family and his father, to where love is. And his father said, "You have returned to life. Let us celebrate." He was lost, but now he is found. So the party has began. Look at that. Like, I could just imagine, like, in heaven, like, can you imagine, like, when we are lost and how heaven celebrates when he's like, especially when we get baptized, when baptism comes, I'm just like, yes, another one is home. Like, I can only imagine that's like how God felt. And like in this story, that's exactly what I can relate, that I feel like it relates to. Like, you were lost, but now you are found. Let us begin the party, and the party is life. Meanwhile, the older son was in the fields working. When he returned home, he heard music and dancing in the house, and he asked one of his servants what was going on. So this is the other son. "Your brother is back," he was told, "and your father has killed the fattened calf. We are celebrating because of his safe return." He's home safe, big brother. He's home safe. But the big brother was not happy about that. The older brother was angry and wouldn't go in. He didn't care that his brother was lost and that now he is found. He's just mad that he is back because he didn't listen to his father, and now they're celebrating for him because he did return. But that's how God is. He's not focusing on the ones that have stuck by his side and that feel that they do everything right and that they know everything and that they're following the rules and all the laws. He is worried about ones like the younger son that take off. They get lost in the crowd. They get lost in life. And when they return, he rejoices. That's who God is. And so the older brother was angry and wouldn't go on. His father came out and begged him. But he replied, "All these years I've slaved for you and never once refused to do a single thing you have told me. And all that time you never even gave me one young goat for a feast with my friends." Look at him complaining. This is where he went wrong. Like, you're focusing on you. But if you had a good heart, you would be focusing on this brother who was lost and was gone. Like, this is your brother. Be happy. He's home now. But instead, the older brother was not happy. "Yet this son of yours comes back after squandering your money and prostitutes. You celebrate by killing the fattened calf." How many of us, like, when we were growing up, like, you had a younger brother or sister, and like they continue to get praised even though you were always the good one. And I know I went through that. I was the golden child in the family, and I never was looked at. I was never looked at. My father spent more time focusing on the ones who that needed the help. So being a golden child, I didn't get any special treatment. And like, that's how this boy here is feeling. He's like, "But I've been the good one." And God was like, "But yet." And his father said to him, "Look, dear son, you have always stayed home by me, and everything I have is yours. We have to celebrate this happy day, for your brother was dead and has come back to life. He was lost, but now he is found." Wow. Isn't that God in us? Like, we lose our way, we are lost. And no matter what, he sees us coming. He's gonna be waiting on us, and he's just gonna embrace us with a kiss when we return, and then the celebration starts and we get to live life. And we were lost, but now we are found. Wow, I love that one. I got deep into that, right? I just love the Bible, and I love how relatable it is still to this day. All right, that is the end of that. I hope you guys all have an amazing night, and may peace be with you all.